Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So if you saw my last video, you know that January, a lot of these makeup videos are going to be focused on decluttering, reorganizing, and helping you use up what you already have in your collection. So today's video, I'm going to be focusing a little bit on decluttering your makeup. So I spent most of New Year's Eve day and long into the evening decluttering my makeup, going through everything. And so today I'm going to be sharing with you just a few tips of how to declutter. If you've never gone through that process, how do you know whether you should get rid of something, whether you should give it away or keep it, and then a couple of tips just to help you look at your makeup in a new way, kind of like it's a new product. So if you're interested in hearing more about my decluttering process and a few tips, then just keep on watching. So before you start your decluttering process, you're going to want to gather just a couple of things and have them handy. One is a bunch of paper towels or Kleenex. I had both with me because as you're going through everything, you're going to be swatching them. At least that's my recommendation. Swatching them on your hand, evaluating colors, all of that, and you're going to need something to continually keep wiping things off. The second thing you're going to want is either makeup remover wipes or good old Huggies wipes. Those work as well. Or you can use paper towels with coconut oil or whatever your favorite eye makeup remover is. You're going to need those again to help clean off your hands, but also to help clean up your makeup products, and I'll show you that in a minute. The other thing that you're going to need is a really good pencil sharpener. These are two that I have, and I show these in a moment. And then rubbing alcohol. This is going to become your friend for sanitizing your products and for helping clean them up. So in order to declutter your makeup, you literally really need to go through every single item. Now that might sound like a very overwhelming task. If you're anybody like me who has a lot of makeup, it can be. So you can break it up into parts. You can look at just your lip products one day, your eye products another, or you can do it all at once like I did. So you can do this on the floor, you can do it at your table, whatever, but you want to go through every item. And the first thing you want to do is you want to take off the lid, whether it be a lipstick, whether it be a cream eyeshadow, and you want to do the sniff test. If you smell that product and it does not smell right, you just need to, no questions asked, put it right in the trash can. That means that it has officially expired. Now, if you're not quite sure what it's supposed to smell like, if you have another lipstick or eyeshadow or mascara in your collection that's similar or from the same brand, pull it out and see how they smell compared to one another. I did this yesterday and discovered, sadly, that a couple of my MAC lipsticks all of a sudden were just gone. They were spoiled. So you want to, if you have MAC lipsticks, you know they have that nice soft vanilla smell. If they don't smell like that anymore, it's time to pitch them. Mascara is another one that you can use your nose to tell you whether it's time to pitch. Now for mascara, the time frame is about 3 to 5 months from the time that you open it, depending on how regularly you use it. But another way, if you're not sure how long it's been in your drawer, is just open it and smell. And the older a mascara gets, the stronger that kind of chemical-y smell comes out. That sounds terrible, but all mascaras that I've ever used do this. So it doesn't mean that it's not a good mascara or has horrible ingredients. It's just the longer it's been open, the stronger that smell is. So if you have a new mascara, open it up and smell it, and then smell one that has been around longer, and you'll be able to tell the difference. The next step is just simply evaluating from the color standpoint and also how that product performs, whether it's something that you like and know you're going to use or not. And if you're being honest with yourself and you go, you know, I really don't love that color, I hardly ever wear it, it's time to pass it on. If it's something that you can't remember, then stick a little piece of washi tape on the back of it and give yourself a time frame. And when you go through your collection, if you've not peeled that washi tape off, which means you haven't used it, then it's probably time to pitch it. Some of you might be wondering, can I pass things on to friends? Is there somewhere I can donate makeup? Every state, believe it or not, has different laws and regulations on whether you can donate used makeup or beauty products or not. In my state, we cannot donate it like to any shelters or anything, but I have heard of other states where they do allow that. So check within your own city to see if you can donate products to organizations like that, because they can be sanitized. But what I do is I will look at products that I have not used hardly at all, and I will sanitize them. And I have several friends and family members on a list and a rotation, and I put together bags for each of them, and I say, here you go, have fun, let your girls play with some makeup, there you go. So that's another option for you as well. Now the next step is, once you have decided what to keep, how do we make it look new again? So I just pulled out a couple of random things, and I'm going to show you just a couple of ways to make your products look new, because I don't know about you, but there's something about pulling out a brand new lip liner for the first time. It's freshly sharpened, it's super clean, and you put it on and it just feels extra spectacular. And a couple weeks later, it's worn down, it's dirty. I mean, the packaging is all kind of gross, and you're like, maybe I need to buy a new one, right? So let's not do that this month, and instead pull out your good old sharpener. This one's by Urban Decay. I also have another one that's just wonderful. This is by Mally, and it's a single sharpener. Pull out your sharpener, pull out your lip liner, and just give it a nice sharpen. And already look how nice and clean that wood barrel looks, and it looks nice and new. And then if you have any, like I have some, let's see, is it this one? Yes, it's this one. I don't know if you can tell, but right here around the edge, it's just got kind of little bits of that lip liner, because when you're putting the lid on, somehow, I don't know, lip liner gets on there, product gets on there. So just you can take a makeup wipe or a Huggies wet one. These work as well. I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and use today. And just take that and rub it right there at the end of the barrel, and voila, it's nice and clean, looks brand new. You can also, if the inside of the lid is really gross, you can take a Q-tip or just the end, just kind of smush that little wipe in there, clean it off, put the lid back on, and it looks brand new. Now, if you have lip liners or eyeliners, this applies to eyeliners as well. If you have lip or eyeliners that have these automatic sharpeners where you just roll from the bottom, and they come with a little sharpener, roll up your liner and give it a sharpen. Then take your makeup wipe and wipe off that edge, which got really gross and dirty. And there you go. Now when you take the cap off of this lip liner, it's going to look like it's a brand new lip liner. Now, another thing that you can make look like new is your lipstick. So this frequently happens to me, I don't know if you can tell, on my more nude, my paler shade lipsticks, especially if I use them with a darker liner, they start getting like another color on them because I'm putting it over and that color's rubbing off on the lipstick, and they can also kind of start getting misshapen. And so the first thing I like to do is actually just take a tissue and wipe off that color that's on there. So we want it to return to the color that it is supposed to be, first of all. And then once I've done that, you can take a paper towel and your rubbing alcohol, and what you're going to do is spritz the actual paper towel quite a few times so it's nice and damp. And then you're going to take your lipstick and place that paper towel on a flat surface, and you're going to rub your lipstick just gently over the top of that paper towel. And what this is going to do is two things. It's going to help sanitize the top, It's going to help give it a nice, flat, smooth surface, and it's going to clean it up and just make it look brand new. So now the next time you open up your lipstick, it's going to look like you're using a new lipstick, and it just, to me, makes it a little more enjoyable to use. Now, what about eyeshadow palettes? I don't know about you, but depending on the formula of the eyeshadows, they can end up getting really dusty and dirty over time, and I'm usually in a hurry in the morning and I don't have time to like clean them off. And so what happens is your mirror in there gets dirty, and just the dust from the eyeshadows gets all around, and it starts just looking old. So get out your paper towel and a little bit, I just like to use straight up rubbing alcohol. You could use some Windex, but because this is eyeshadow that I'm going to be using on my eyes, I like to be careful about what I put on there. So just spritz your paper towel, or you can use a Kleenex, and rub the mirror, clearing that off. And then just take your paper towel and go around the edge of those shadows and wipe it down. And all of a sudden it looks brand new. Now, what if you feel like, these shadows might need to be sanitized? Did you know you can sanitize your eyeshadows? Yes, you can. Woohoo! How do we do that? Take good old rubbing alcohol, and I like to do it in a spray bottle. Now, the first girl that I saw do this, her name's Zabrina. She has a channel here on YouTube, and she used an eye dropper, and she actually just dropped drops of the rubbing alcohol into the shadows. I just like to take this and I just spritz each shadow a couple of times until the surface is wet. You don't want it to be like swimming, but you just want to make sure that the surface of each shadow has been dampened, and then you leave the eyeshadow palette open and allow it to dry. And the rubbing alcohol, it will eventually completely evaporate. It will not change the formula of the shadows, but it will sanitize them. And then afterwards, after I've done that, I do like to take a just a tissue, Kleenex, and just wipe over the surface of each shadow. And I like to go in one direction, and then it really looks like it's a nice shiny new palette. And the next time you use it, you will think, hey, I've got a new palette I'm using. The other item in your collection that you might not be thinking about, but you probably should address, and they are your makeup brushes. So how long has it been since you've gone through your makeup brushes? I went through and I cleaned them all the ones that were dirty, but it had been a long time since I had washed my brushes, so it was quite a lot. I'll show you a little glimpse of here. I have a whole video on this process that I use with the Dr. Bronner soap, and just allowing the brushes to sit in that soap and then rinsing them very well. But this is the process that I used, and it just helps when you go to do your makeup. It's just so nice when you pull out a very nice clean brush to put on your makeup. So that would be the last section of your makeup that I would encourage you to go through. And then if there are any brushes that are losing, if the bristles are falling off or they're scratchy, it's time to pitch it. So as I wrap up this video, because my overarching theme of January for myself is no makeup buying the whole month of January, I have one final tip. If there is some area of your makeup, maybe it's the entire thing, maybe you want to do this for everything in your collection, maybe it's just lip products, that would be one area for me. Whatever it is, I would encourage you, after you've decluttered, after you have just kind of cleaned everything up, count how many of each item you have in your collection. I did this, and every time I do this, I've done it maybe once every couple years, it's always a wake-up call. So you might look at those lip liners, you know, they're small. You can put a whole lot of them into one little can, but you might be surprised how many you have. So I did a count and I wrote it down in my little book here. And at the end of the month, I am going to celebrate being able to reduce, hopefully, all of those categories of lipstick, lip liner, lip glosses, lip balms, liquid lipsticks by the end of the month. So if you are wanting just a little added incentive to help yourself kind of stop buying something, actually just take a count of how many you have and kind of put yourself on a diet, so to speak, for the month and see how many of those you can reduce by the end of the month. So I hope this video was helpful for you. In my next upcoming videos, I'm going to be doing several tutorials, some get ready with me's. I'm going to be using palettes that are recent purchases, but then some that have been in my collection for a while. I've already got a Norvina palette request on my list. I also have a 311 palette request for the Too Faced Bonbons palette, and also the Tarteist Pro palette. So I will be doing videos for each of those. If you received a new palette for Christmas, you've had one in your collection that as you were decluttering, you said, I haven't really used this, I need some new inspiration, let me know what that palette is, and if I have it, I'll be happy to do a look for you. Thank you as always so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.